Hey guys, Gary Alexander here. Hey man, I'm going to show you real quick how to change presets on a ToneX pedal with a Boss GX 100. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to do this, just a basic how to do it really quick. And if you want to stop right there, you can stop watching the video, but I'm going to encourage you to stick around, because then I'm going to go back over everything in detail and explain to you why and how I set this up the way that I did. So let's jump right in it, man. There's a MIDI cable right there. It's a 5-pin DIN cable. You can get them at any music store. That's going from the out to the MIDI in on the ToneX. That's all you have to do. Just run one cable over there, out to in. As I'm working here, you'll notice in this top left hand corner there is a magnified view of this window right here. I did that because I had to have my camera on my phone actually high enough that I could get the ToneX and the GX 100 in frame, and that made this window so small, plus it's got glare on it from the light, that you couldn't see it. So I used another little old phone camera that's real low quality, but it'll work, to make a magnified view of that. So anytime I'm working in this window, just look in that top left corner up there and you'll be able to see the numbers and stuff. So here we go. Let me show you how to set the MIDI channel on the ToneX, because it has to be the same as it is on the GX 100. If the GX 100 is set to MIDI channel 1 to transmit on 1, then the ToneX has to be set to receive on channel 1. Otherwise, these things are not going to communicate. So what you do is you go up to the left-hand corner up here, and let me use my left hand so you can see better. Hold that button down until you get the preset menu, okay? Then turn the button one time to the global settings menu. All right, that's global settings. Now push the button one time, and now you can scroll through the whole menu of the global settings. So you want to scroll over to MIDI channel, excuse me. When you get to MIDI channel, click it one more time. Just click it, don't hold it down. One time, and there's where you set your number. You turn this thing until you set it to whatever channel the GX 100 is set on. Okay? Now, you don't have to write that into memory. All you have to do is just get out, go to the preset button, 1, 2, 3. We're back to the preset window. It'll remember whatever channel that you set it on, or channel number. Okay? There's two ways of setting MIDI in the GX 100, the MIDI channel and program change. The first way is in the menu. Okay, the menu button right here, and then you click MIDI, then you go to MIDI settings, and there's your receive channel and your transmit channel. Now I found out that has nothing to do with it, so I'm exiting out of that. You don't even have to change that, just leave it alone. Go to your next button over, which is your control expression button. Click it one time. Let me grab my pen to use for a pointer. And you'll notice on the far right side there's a button that says Memory MIDI. Click that one time, or tap it. In the top left hand corner is where you set your MIDI channel. Now, I will tell you this. Both the Boss GX 100 and the ToneX have defaulted. Their default setting is channel 1. Out of the box, if you haven't changed either one of those, just leave it on 1. Again, this is the basic thing, just between these two units, and nothing else MIDI is hooked up. Okay, so the MIDI channel in that top left-hand corner is set to 1. Now this button right here is how you change the number. If I turn it to the right, the number goes up, you know, and you can even turn it off. All right, so it's set to 1. The way that you know that you're working with this button on this top one instead of the bottom one, because each one of these buttons here coincide with the rows. All right, if I tap down here, you'll notice that all of these are underlined because I tapped the bottom row. Now when I turn this button, everything changes down here, or that one, or 3 and 4 button. So I want to tap up here, make sure it's underlined, and now you can change the number. So there's channel 1. And this is where you put your program change number in. So each preset on the ToneX is going to have a program change number. So mine's set to 4 right here. Now here's the thing with GX100, every preset that you set up will remember a program change and a channel. You can have a different channel for each preset if you need that. Now for just basic stuff, you know, for the beginner and stuff, it's always going to be on 1, and this is always going to be on 1. But the thing is, because you can set these for each preset, then it has to be written into that preset. So right now we're on bank 1, preset 1. See that? And I'm going to click this until it initializes or executes. 1, 2, 3. That's your right button right there. And it just completed. Okay? So now whenever I hit this button, the ToneX is going to go to bank 1, preset A. All right. Now I've already done this all the way across. When I go to 2, you'll notice that the ToneX is going to go to bank 1, preset 2, or preset B. ToneX decided to put letters instead of numbers. Why? I have no idea. You have to ask them. And when I go to preset 3 on bank 1, there's 1, 3. It's also 1, C, or 3 over here. And after I finish, I'll explain how I get these to work together, because they're not going to do it right out of the box. Now you'll get this to change presets, but unless you know how to do the math and know what preset number to get these things to be in sync with each other, you won't be able to do it exactly like this. So there you go. If I go to bank 2, preset 1, see over here on the ToneX, it went to, come on guy, 2A. I go to preset 2 over here, bank 2, preset 2, bank 2, preset B, or 2 over here. I'm going to quit saying ABC. I'm just going to call them 1, 2, 3 on the ToneX. You guys know what I'm talking about now. All right, so go to 3. We got 2, 3 over there. Same thing here. Bank 3, 1, A, 2, B. I said I wasn't going to do that. Now I can't help myself. 3 over here. All right, so they're talking to each other. That's how you set it up. Now, stick around, and I'm going to break this down so that you will know if you're using a different unit besides the GX100. If you've got like a Helix or a HX Stomp or something like that, if it's got MIDI out on it, then it can be set up to do this. Now every unit is different as far as how you get into that menu, but once you understand what I'm getting ready to show you, then you're going to know how to do your own unit too. Okay? All right, I'm going to stop recording right here, take a breath, and I'll be back in just a few minutes. Okay guys, so I just gave you a quick tutorial on how to change presets on the ToneX using the GX100 via MIDI. Now I'm going to try to break that down and give you some more detailed information so that if you're using any other unit hopefully by the end of this you'll understand enough about MIDI and how it works that you'll be able to go into those menus on your unit and set it up to work the same way. Any of these multi-effects units like this that have MIDI out will work. It's just that every company does it a little bit different as far as their settings and stuff in their unit and how to get into the menu and find what you're looking for. It's relatively simple, but what makes it complicated is that MIDI does a million different things, from running complete light shows and triggering effects and stuff on vocals and music and stuff through a whole concert, to something as simple as just having it change the preset on your pedal. So anyway, let me turn around here and get my pedal board back on the screen for you. There you go. Now, I told you earlier that right out of the box, both of these units default to channel 1. So you didn't really have to set the channels, okay? These things that I've got set up here, if you'll notice, when I go to Bank 1, Preset 1, the ToneX is on Bank 1, Preset 1. Now, I don't know why Amplitube did this, but they call it Preset A, B, and C. MIDI doesn't work that way. MIDI doesn't understand the alphabet. MIDI is all about numbers. So program change numbers are, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. So in order to get this to be set up like how I have it, and I have it set up to where they're exactly the same. So if I go to Bank 1, Preset 2, watch the green light over here on the ToneX. Boom. It goes to Bank 1, Preset 2, which is B. Now I'm going to try to quit calling this A, B, and C. I'm going to call it 1, 2, 3. And you guys will know what I'm talking about. Somebody should talk to Amplitube. They probably would never change the face of this thing now, but they really should have put 1, 2, 3 on there, because all units are going to be banks and preset numbers, anything that you're using to transmit with. So that gets a little confusing. So, Bank 1, Preset 1. Bank 1, Preset 1. Preset 2, Bank 1, Preset 2. Bank 1, Preset 3 on the GX100. Same thing over here. Okay? When I go to Bank 2 and I go to Preset 1, what do I got? 2, 1. 2, 2 on the ToneX, 2, 2 on the GX100, and it just keeps going. See, I've got it set up to follow. They both communicate the same. All right, so let me get back down to Bank 1, Preset 1. See, it went back. ToneX went back over here. Now, check this out. Boss has 4 presets per bank. The ToneX only has 3 presets per bank. So I'm just ignoring preset number 4. Later on, when I set this unit up to maybe go out and do a live show, which right now I'm just doing studio work, but even for that it could be useful. But I can use this for just any random preset that I want, I'll utilize it at some point, but for right now, I'm just sticking with 1, 2, 3 because there's only 3 presets over here per bank. All right. Now, another difference between Boss and Amplitube, the ToneX pedal, their presets actually start on 0. If I can remember how to do this, I go bank down. There's bank 0, 1. All right. So bank 0, 1 would be program change 1. You got to do a little bit of math in your head or write it down on a piece of paper or something, when you're doing this MIDI stuff. If you want these things to be the same between each unit, you're going to have to figure out the math here. So bank 0, 1 is program change 1. If you go to 2, that would be 2. C is 3. And then if you go up 1 to bank 1, program or preset 1, that's going to be program change number 4. This would be 5, 6, and so on and so on, okay? So what's happening here when I go to, let me put this over here, and I go to bank, bank 1, preset 1, the same thing happens over here because I set it that way. And I'm going to show you how to do that right now. Go into Control, hit Memory MIDI. Up here, you got Channel 1. Program change number 4 that you set with this button right here, okay? And then you have to write it into memory. I don't know if I explained that earlier, I can't remember. I write it. So it's written into that preset. When I go to preset number 2, I go back in here again, Control, Memory MIDI, Channel 1. You don't have to change that every time because it's always going to be on 1. But this is the number you're looking for right here. The next preset over was number 5, so that has to be set to 5. All right? Then you're going to write it. So now when you go to 1, 1, it goes to 1, 1 over here. If I go to 1, 2, it goes 1, 2 over here. And same thing, 3, if I go to Control, Memory MIDI, there's number 6. Okay? So the next one up, bank 2, preset 1, is going to be program change number 7. Let me write that. Okay, so we want to go to bank 2, preset 1, Control, MIDI memory. There it is. It's on 7. I've already set mine up, but I just want you to see how I'm getting this thing to work with the ToneX. Well, there you have it, guys. Sorry that was so long. I just have to tell you, I don't do these type of videos. In fact, this is the first one I've ever done. So if I choose to do more of these, maybe I'll get better at it, but you have to give me a break on this one. I tried really hard to keep it short and sweet, but it just didn't happen. And truthfully, there's a ton more stuff to talk about when it comes to MIDI. And not many people are talking about it on YouTube and Facebook and stuff like that. A lot of people are asking questions, but not a lot of people are answering those questions. So I hope you got something out of this. If you got stumped on anything, or if I left something out that you feel like I should have talked about, hit me up, man. And yeah, I'll try to help any way I can. You can find me on Facebook, The Real Gary Alexander. You can find me on YouTube, The Real Gary Alexander. I guess that's it, man. I'm out.